Hello friends, welcome to today's Surrender to the Present yoga flow. We are going to be exploring a variety of diverse asanas and movements to help us embody exactly where we are in this moment. When you're ready, we'll begin practice standing facing the short edge of our yoga mat, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Roll the shoulders back and down. Maybe soften your gaze or close the eyes. Feel your connection to Mother Earth. Beginning to tune into the breath. On your next inhale, we'll extend our arms overhead and find a side body stretch as we lean over to the right. You might choose to grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale back to center and we'll go on the other side. Using the left wrist to support the right arm. Exhale back to center. Float the arms down. On your next inhale, we'll extend our arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Feel any and all tension melting away from the body. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, grounding down through the heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Once more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Planting both palms down firmly, we'll step our left leg back as we come into a supported high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Maybe rocking the hips forwards and backwards, warming up the legs, working on squeezing the inner thighs together to lift up and out of that pelvic bowl. You might like to stay here or ground down through the left palm as we extend our right arm skywards, rotating the torso to the right, broadening across the chest, maybe gazing up towards the right fingertips. Breathe. We're going to squeeze our right hand together, making a fist, and then release and open our fingertips wide like rays of sunshine. From here, we'll pivot to the right, coming onto the blade edges of both feet, lowering the hips to the mat, and coming back up. Exhale, lowering down, finding a nice side body stretch along the left hip, the glutes. And we'll come back to frame the front foot. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Once more, halfway lift, finding length. Exhale, fold. This time we'll step back with the right leg, coming into supported Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Maybe tenting up onto the fingertips, finding any movement or adjustments that help you facilitate comfort in this posture. Squeezing and engaging everything together. One more breath. And either staying here or coming into the revolved twist. Planting the right palm down underneath the right shoulder and extending the left arm skywards as we rotate our chest to the left, gazing up, breathing through any tension, letting go of any thoughts that are detracting you from this moment. On your next inhale, squeeze the fingers together, making a fist. Exhale, open the fingers out wide, spreading the palms, finding length. One more breath. And we'll pivot to the left, coming onto the blade edges of both feet. Lowering the hips, finding that deep side stretch, lifting back up, and again. Pivoting to frame the front foot, we'll step the right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And again, halfway lift, finding length. Exhale, fold. Once more. This time we'll step back with our left leg and our right as we come into plank pose, Balasana. Wrists are in line with shoulders, core is engaged. navel drawn towards the spine. We're staying high on the balls of our feet. Heels are lifted. One more breath and pushing back into downward facing dog, Ardha Gomukhasana, taking any adjustments that you'd like, perhaps bending the knees, or if you'd like a deeper stretch along the back of the hamstrings, drawing the heels towards Mother Earth. One breath here and we'll float our right leg up into the sky, externally rotating the hip, flexing the knee, drawing the heel towards the glutes, coming into three-legged dog, re-extend the leg. Float up onto the left ball of the foot as we flex the right knee, coming into a tiger curl, drawing the knee towards the chest and gently placing the sole of the foot between the hands, coming up into crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Front knee, the right knee is in line with the ankle. Squeezing those inner thighs together to lift up and out of the pelvis. Core is engaged, finding length along the back of the neck, the spine. You might like to stay in this variation, fingertips in Anjali Mudra, or place your right palm along the back of your left leg, extending that left arm overhead as we come into a peaceful stretch, twisting the torso to the right. Cartwheeling the arms to frame the front foot, stepping the right foot back into plank pose. Finding engagement, finding your connection, letting go. 3 breaths here. One more breath. And with control, pushing back into downward facing dog, releasing any tension that might have built up around the jaw, the face, the shoulders. Maintaining your awareness to this moment. You're exactly where you need to be. One more breath in downward dog and we'll float our left leg up, coming into three-legged dog, externally rotating the hip, flexing at the knee, drawing the left heel towards the glutes, re-extending the leg, coming up onto the ball of the right foot, flexing the left knee, drawing it towards the chest, gently guiding the sole of the foot between the hands as we come into Anjaneyasana on the left side. Finding that connection, perhaps finding a point of focus or closing the eyes, joining the palms together in Anjali Mudra. Shoulders are rolled back and down away from the ears. One more breath here. Either staying in this variation or for a deeper hip flexor stretch, reaching the left arm around, find the back of the right leg, extending the right arm overhead, twisting the torso to the left. Finding that stretch, breathing through it. Cartwheel the arms forward, frame the front foot, step the left foot back to meet the right, and we'll step back straight away into downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees. Join the big toes together, sink the hips back towards the heels, extend the arms out in front, maybe lowering the forehead onto the mat, the chest, coming into child's pose, Balasana. Re-equilibrating your connection with Mother Earth, surrendering to this moment. Breathe. You might choose to rest in child's pose or join us in a flow coming into a heart opener back bending variation, keeping the feet and the knees as they are, beginning to transfer your weight onto the palms and the fingertips as you shift your body forwards, lowering the pelvis to the floor, broadening across the chest, gaze up, draw the toes towards the back of the head. Exhale, push back into child's pose. A few more flowing like this. It's as though the upper body is coming into Bhujangasana or upward facing dog, while you simultaneously draw the toes to meet the back of the head. And again, shifting forwards, finding that back bend, broadening across the heart space. You might like to pause for a little longer. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Stay here for a moment. And when you're ready, we'll come up into a seated position, extending both legs out in front as we come into Dandasana, staff pose. Feet are flexed, toes and kneecaps are facing towards the sky. We're grounding down through both sits bones, rolling the shoulders back, engaging the core, finding a soft gaze, seeing if you can relax the muscles of the face. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears a little more. Either staying here, or if you have any props, such as a blanket, you might like to place it underneath the sits bones to give yourself a little bit of elevation, facilitating greater ease when it comes to these seated forward folds. We are going to come into Ardha Gomukhasana, half cow face pose. Flexing the left knee and crossing the left leg on top of the right leg, keeping the right leg extended. And we'll come into eagle arms, Garudasana, interlacing the right arm over the left, maybe finding a double bind as we join the palms together, finding a slight tuck of the chin, length along the back body. You might like to play around with movement in the arm bind, shifting the palms forward, feeling a sensation or a stretch along the back of the scapula. Maybe moving the palms from side to side, seeing what feels interesting. Beginning to release the bind, and you might like to stay upright or come into a forward fold, hinging from the hips, lowering the belly and the chest onto the left leg, perhaps placing the forearms on the ground, palms facing up. Letting go, recognizing that you are safe. All is well. You are loved. You are love. One more breath. Gently beginning to work your way up to a seated position, extending the left leg, perhaps rolling the feet out, the legs out once or twice, and we'll set up for half cow face pose on the other side, crossing the right leg on top of the left, aligning the knees. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, and this time we'll place our left arm on top of our right, maybe finding that double bind as we come into Garudasana, eagle arms. Softening the jaw, unfurling the eyebrows, allowing the eyes to relax into their respective sockets. Tuning into the breath, being mindful of the connection with the surface beneath you, grounding down through both sits bones. Mindfully distributing the weight across all sections of this foundation. One more breath. And either staying in this upright position, or you might like to begin to walk the fingertips out in front, hinging from the hips as we come into a forward fold. About 5 gradual breaths in this posture. Slowly beginning to walk your way up to a seated position, re-extending that right leg. And from here we'll point and flex the toes and the feet, finding a nice stretch along the front of the ankles, maybe finding some circular motions, some moon circles in one direction and back in the opposite direction. From here we are going to lower down onto the mat as we begin some supine stretches, so adding any adjustments, any props, blankets, jumpers, socks that you might like. And when you're ready, rolling down one vertebra at a time, slowly drawing the knees towards the chest, flattening the lower back, maintaining contact with the lumbar spine and the surface beneath you. Allowing the shoulders to soften. One more breath, and we'll interlace our fingers around our right shin as we extend our left leg, coming into Pawamuktanasana, wind relieving posture. Left foot is flexed, toes and kneecap are pointed towards the sky. And you might like to roll out the right ankle a few times in one direction, back in the other direction, as we draw that knee towards the right armpit. Either staying here or joining us in a supine spinal twist as we guide our right knee towards the left side of whatever space you're in, extending the right arm out long at shoulder height, maybe gazing towards the right fingertips. This is a lovely way to release any tension that might have built up in the lower back. A wonderful way to begin or end your day, inviting space into the spinal column, such an integral part of the body that facilitates our movements and our postural activities throughout the course of the day. One more breath. Again, drawing the right knee towards the chest and bringing the left knee to meet the right. We'll re-extend the right leg, coming into Pawamuktanasana on the left side, drawing that left knee towards the armpit. Maybe finding some circles with that left foot or finding stillness, whatever works for you and your energy levels. This is a nice way to release the hip flexors, and it's great for digestion. One more breath here. And we'll come into the supine spinal twist, guiding the left knee towards the right side as we extend our left fingertips out at shoulder height. Gazing over that left shoulder, maybe closing the eyes, and being mindful to keep both shoulders in contact with the surface beneath you so that this is a safe stretch. One more breath. Unfurling from the twist, drawing both knees towards the chest. And we'll set up for Shavasana, taking a moment to grab a blanket, anything that will facilitate a level of comfort and ease. Letting yourself relax. Feel yourself softening, melting into the earth beneath you. Beginning to let go of the surrounding environment. Letting go of your awareness of the body as you simply maintain a connection with the breath. Simply allowing your body's natural cadence to guide the inflow and outflow of air. Perhaps inviting a gentle appreciation for the pranic life force that sustains us. And when you're ready, beginning to find some movement, maybe extending the arms overhead, rolling to one side, coming into a fetal position. Taking as many breaths here as you like, or pausing the video and resting in Shavasana. If you'd like to join us, Keeping the eyes closed, we'll slowly work our way up to a seated position, being mindful of any props you may have lying about. You might like to place your palms on your lap. And simply acknowledging your efforts for showing up here today. On your next inhale, we'll extend our arms overhead, joining our palms together. Exhale, lowering our hands to the third eye center, the space between the brows, the Ajna chakra. The light and the teacher in me salutes the light and the teacher in each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for today. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.